And now, let us proceed to the file size and formats. There is an important consideration of file size and format. File size is digitized video, which includes first, frame rate, second, image size, and third is the color depth. Now, let us see the frame rate.
The frame rate. Animation is an illusion caused by the rapid display of still images. Television and movies play at 30 fps, but acceptable playback can be achieved with 15 fps. FPS means frame per seconds. Number 2. Image size. A standard full screen resolution is 640 by 480 pixels, but to save strong space, a video with 320 by 240 for a computer display is still acceptable. New high-definition television or HD TV are capable for resolution up to 1920 by 1080 per 60 seconds. 1920 pixels per second line by 1080 scan lines progressive at 60 frames per seconds. When we say have the standardized resolution to determine the pixel, because sometimes the video are low quality and blurry because of its resolution or image size. Next, let's proceed for the number 3. Color depth. The quality of video is dependent on the color quality, related to the number of colors for each bitmap in the frame sequence. Color depth below 256 color is poorer quality image. The frame rate to below 15 fps causes a noticeable and distracting jerkiness that unacceptable. Changing the image size and compressing the file therefore become primary ways of reducing the file size from 24-bit, the 16-bit, the 8-bit, wherein the 256 colors. Next, we have the two types of compression. First, the lossless compression preserves the exact image throughout the compression and decompression process. Example, text images is to identify repeating words and assign them a code. Next, lossy compression eliminates some of the data in the image and therefore provides greater compression ratios than lossless compression. Applied to video because some drop in the quality is not noticeable in moving images. Now let us proceed to the video file formats. First, the AVI format. The AVI format, which stands for Audio Video Interleave, was developed by Microsoft. The sum of the most common players that supports the AVI format are Apple QuickTime Player, Windows and Mac, Microsoft Windows Media Player or Windows and Mac, the Vigilant VLC Media Player, Windows and Mac, and Nullsoft WinNAP. Next, the QuickTime format. The QuickTime format was developed by Apple and is a very common one. It is often used on the internet and for saving movie and video files. The format contains one or more tracks storing video, audio, text, or effects. It is compatible with both Mac and Windows platforms and can be played on Apple QuickTime Player. Next is the MP4 format. This format is mostly used to store audio and visual streams online. Most commonly those defined by MPEG. It's expanded as MPEG-1 to support video audio objects, 3D content, low bit rate encoding, and support for digital rights management. The MPEG-4 video format uses separate compression for audio and video tracks. Video is compressed with MPEG-4 video encoding Audio is compressed using AAC compression, the same type of audio compression used in AAC files. The MP4 can most commonly be played on the Apple QuickTime player or other movie players. Devices that play P4 are also known as MP4 players. Next, the streaming video. Number 1. Windows Media Video Format or the WMV. Number 2. The 3GP file extension or 3GP. Number 3. Apple QuickTime Player. For the number 4, Real Networks Real Player. Number 5, Video LAN or VLC Media Player. Number 6, Advanced Streaming Format or ASF. And number 7, Real Media Format or RM. For video editing terminology, we have linear. It plays end-to-end in one direction, usually pertains to videotape editing, especially the editing of linear tape segments into one final master tape. Linear versus non-linear refers to the editing of disc-based digital video. The software provides an on-screen map of what the final video sequences should look like, separating the edits, slices, special effects, transition, and soundtracks. For the special effects, we have transition, such as fading, wiping, splatters, scrolling, stipple, and many more are available by simply dragging and dropping the transition between the two video clips. Next transition is chroma key. The ability to superimpose one clip over another is a valuable technique. The technique of green screening is identical except that the color green is used for screen and later digitally removed. The blue screen and green screen superimposing are just two of the superimposing technique available, and that are the special effects for the video. Next, let's proceed for the video hardware and software. We have the VCR, the multimedia PG, the video overlay board or video capture card, and the video digital editing software. The video editing software incorporating transitions such as dissolve, wipes, and spin, superimposing titles and animating them such as fly-in logo, applying special effects to various images such as twisting, zooming, rotating, and distorting, and synchronizing sounds with the video, applying filters that control color balance, brightness and contrast, blurring, distortions, and morphing. And lastly, obtaining video clips, shoot a new footage, pre-existing video clips, and buying from other licensing rights. And for shooting and editing video, we have the equipment needed, the good camera, lighting equipment, and the powerful PC or the personal computer. This is the basis for the good quality video.